And good afternoon. Welcome to Longwell Records,
Good
36 Temple Street, BS 131 1EH. I had to remember that. We're an independent record store in Baines, which is Bath and North East Somerset. We're here for a very important thing today. First and foremost, it's Longwell Records YouTube blog, stroke having a laugh on the internet style thing. And secondly, a more important reason really, I am joking, is this fantastic album that you've come to discuss today, all the way from LA.
You're too kind.
And LA is not Long Ashton, it's Los Angeles, man. Eee.
Yeah.
So Bradford Mitchell, whatever you are, I don't know, you are a human.
Sometimes.
And you've made this fantastic concept album, Bread Over Bombs. Do you want to sort of tell us a little bit about the concept?
Well, it's a little band that I founded back in 2013, and I think it's the first band of its kind. It's actually a non-profit band. It's a 501c3 is what they call it in the States. It's a registered charity. It's a California charity. So in other words, it's a non-profit entity. So it gets regulated by the state. So any money that comes in, it's very transparent, and it has to go to where it's supposed to go, or you can lose your status as a non-profit. So we wanted to set it up like that, so that we could help raise awareness for food banks, and also help them, help support them, give them a mechanism where they could raise funds. So basically, it started off in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And it seems to be spreading around. And when I came to Scotland over the summer, it went over really well, and it started spreading from there. But I didn't want the record stores to send the money back to LA, because I thought, it's a community-based effort. So basically, like Love Music, for instance, Sandy there, he already had a donation for the food bank right on his counter.
And that was a record shop in Glasgow.
In Glasgow, right, and Love Music. And so he's been selling them there and donating to the food bank. And it's great. It's a local organic thing. And so the catalyst is this. So that was the concept.
Well, normally if that sort of idea would come to fruition, you would think, oh, the music's not going to be that good. But in fact, this album is probably one of the best ones I've heard in the last couple of years. I've heard a lot. Obviously, I've got a record shop. Musically, fantastic. 11 tracks. Great, to my ear anyway. I think if this was under a big artist name, it would be flying off the shelves. The fact that it is what it is, and there's a charity record, means that it's got to gather momentum, like you said, and the whole reason why you're here, from California to Scotland to England, and I know you've been to Japan as well, is to promote the idea of community spirit as well. And the whole reason why this record is for sale in Longwell Records is because we had a conversation on Facebook, and 4 months later we've raised £1,500 for the local food bank in Keynsham, which is brilliant. Do you want to talk a little bit about the musicians?
Well, there's some really talented people, some of which I went to school with. There's a drummer who's really well known around the world, really. He's played with Morrissey. He's a current drummer of Good Charlotte. His name is Dean Butterworth. He's actually from the Manchester area, right? And I met him in grade school. He came over and we became friends. I've been obsessed with British invasion bands since I was a child, and of course we would sing the songs together and everything. And we ended up working on this project. We always wanted to do something like this together. He's been busy touring the world and doing all these things, but he took time out to record this. And there's some other people there that I went to school with as well. And I'm writing this stuff not to get rich and make money. It's because I love writing music. And so
well, you can feel that in the actual songs. They're almost like I describe it like going to the movies, to an art house cinema, and watching a movie with subtitles. It makes you concentrate a bit more, but the feelings are a bit more intense, and the feelings I get when I listen to this album are real. They're not synthetic. They're I can see where you're coming from. A lot of your writing. I'm
glad you feel that, because there's a few songs there that I cried through. I mean, I was literally wet.
Don't start now, because I haven't got any handkerchiefs.
But in any case, every song on there is real, and it's about something. There's no fake anything on there. I wanted to achieve something as an artist that was higher than a lot of musicians reach for. You know, a
Yeah.
lot of musicians, they reach for, oh, I want to write that hit or that.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody really likes a song, for me personally, some of my most favorite songs on any album are not the hits. They're the
Yeah,
other ones,
yeah, yeah.
right? That's what
silent.
really, and that's why I really like the vinyl concept
Yeah.
coming back, because you've got that story piece. You've
Yeah.
got, you put the needle on and you listen to it.
Well, it's a piece of art, isn't it? Really, you know, the CD's really good. But also, you can get the vinyl record here at Longwell Records for a slightly more price, but you get a lot more artwork, and the artwork itself is very good. I've got to give you that. You know,
Well, we wanted something that would jump off the shelf.
exactly. If I was going to get a tattoo, I'd probably get that actually, but I wouldn't. I'm
idea.
not mad enough to get a tattoo.
I didn't think about that. We could raise money getting tattoos.
Exactly, sponsored tattoo. But anyway, it's, as it says on the back, dedicated to those who suffer without a voice. And a lot of the time, people without a voice are not heard. I know it's pretty blatant, but sometimes people don't want to be heard because they may be embarrassed that they might not have enough money to access food. And poverty is relevant in our society, as you know, because we're the fifth richest country in the world in England. Obviously, not when I say we, I mean
Right.
not you, because
We-
you're
well,
American.
we have a
You're
lot of
from
similarities.
California. But what we should be is all eating grub, you know, on a daily basis, not worrying about it. But there's a lot of families, as you know, we spoke about this before. They are on a minimum wage and they still can't afford to buy decent food.
Right.
And you're seeing that all over the world, aren't you?
Kids
Where
are
you
growing
go.
up and their parents aren't, you know, there's a lot of them are single parents.
Yeah.
But they don't know where they're going to get their next meal.
Mm.
I mean, we waste so much money on our government level,
Yeah.
so much.
Mm.
Why aren't we helping these people? Well, I passed so many homeless people by in Los Angeles, and people that I know are living in their cars, even though they had these great jobs. But you know, you get sick and you lose your insurance, and next thing you know, you're
Yeah.
out of work. You
It's
know,
pretty brutal.
and
Yeah.
so I was carrying bags of oranges and apples in my car, and I was trying to, because you know, you can't just give people a fistful of money. You don't know what the
Yeah,
story is.
exactly.
You don't want
Yeah.
them to go take drugs again.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the food banks, you know,
Yeah,
they give
that's a
food to
different
people.
story.
They distribute
Yeah.
food to people, and maybe they can get their feet, you know, back up and going, and they
Yeah.
can get something
Well,
accomplished.
it's all about focus in life, isn't it? You know, and it's quite easy to look at things like food bank and be negative about it and think, oh, well, there's enough food, there's enough money, they smoke or they do this and whatever. But it misses the point, because a lot of people do smoke, but they don't eat, you know, and it's all about addictions and, you know, putting yourself in someone else's shoes. And I think when you do something like this and you raise a certain amount of money for a worthwhile charity, then it's a positive thing for me.
Well, at least I feel like I'm doing something, because I wanted to do something, and my heart goes out to all these people, and I just had to do something. And then now every time I pass somebody, I take a deep breath, and at least I know I'm really making a difference. We
Yeah.
recently just celebrated 20,000 meals with the
Wow.
Los Angeles Food Bank last week.
Yes, the
And,
hanging dog.
and it's going, and then look right here in your neighborhood. Look what you've done.
well,
I mean, this is really remarkable, and this has a lot to do with you.
it's
You
and,
know.
and the spirit of Keynsham as well. The people in this area are spot on. That's one of the reasons why I wanted a record shop here, a proper old-fashioned record shop. It's a brilliant hub for the community, and the people have supported it very well. Also, we've had a friend of mine who's got a record shop, Adrian Bayford, up in Cambridge, and he's supported. He's given a large contribution to the fund, as you know.
It's awesome.
And I just think positivity breeds positivity, you know. Like I said before, people are very negative about things, but when you scratch the surface, it makes you realise that nobody's perfect, and you know,
Right.
life goes on, and we're very privileged to be in this position where we can help people. But getting back to the music, and I'll finish very soon, because you'll probably get a little bit bored now, aren't you? If you want to buy this album, you can. No, don't nod your head. If you want to buy this album, you can buy it for £12 or a donation, a little bit more over 10, at Longwell Records. You can also download it on Spotify, I think, or Apple.
Yeah, it's
I'm pretty
available
sure
on
it's
any of the digital formats.
or the old CD look, mine. That's the old way of doing things, isn't it? But this is the new way, vinyl. That's the old way, CD. But whatever way you do, you're contributing to a great cause and a great charity, which keeps it local, keeps it independent, keeps it real, actually. And on that note,
Right,
I'd
and
like to say,
If somebody feels
Yeah.
moved and they want to pay more than
Yeah.
that, you know, they can do that too if they're
Yeah.
listening to it and they like it. because I think something that we've developed here is that we're going down immediately and giving everything to the food bank, and people
all
can watch
proceeds
that.
go.
Right.
Nothing goes to Longwell Records or Brad.
Right. So and we take an effort to make sure that people see that immediate go just right to the cause, because I think that's important when you're going to invest money in something or you want to give to a charity. I really hesitate with a lot of the charities today because you read about all these terrible things that they're doing and all the overhead that they have, and that, so we really have no overhead. We're really trying to make this directly go and be a straight up organization, and with people like you who have all this great energy, I think it's really going to make a big difference, and I love being part of it. And
Cheers,
thank
bro.
you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thanks ever so much. That was wicked. And I'd like to say, Andy, that is a wrap.